Good evening, everyone. It's Lynn here, the Go Live Granny, and I am late. I am sorry. I was nearly ready, and then I had to go and do something quickly, and so I was late, but I usually am. Anyway, it is Lynn, the Go Live Granny here, and I am live streaming here on, what is it? It's, it is Sunday, the 26th of April. That's what it tells me over there. And let's just make sure the sound's down and let's refresh there so that I can see and bring up the Facebook page there, because I want to put some links in possibly. So let's refresh there. Right. So if you're coming in on the live, do feel like you want to chat in and say hello. If you're coming in on the replay, in the future, after I've finished recording, then put replay in the comments. If you happen to be watching this sometime in the future on YouTube, also put comment in, because once I've finished on Facebook, Facebook only allow these live streams to be up for 30 days and then they get rid of them. So I then load them up to YouTube. So you will possibly be able to see it on YouTube at some stage, but I haven't done that yet. So I'm just going on here to see, and there I can see myself up there. And what I want to do is I want to just get a link, because I want to share a link tonight and hope that works. Right, let's get that up. So how is everybody today? I hope you are all well. I know what I can do while I've got the laptop on. I could share this out and share it over to my personal page, and then maybe we get some more viewers. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can do that. Wait a minute. Copy the link. Right. Let's give it a go, shall we? Let's do some sharing. So, how is everybody? What sort of week have you had? Mine's been a busy one. Mine's been an exciting one. Lots of different things going on. So let's just got to change the channel. Hi, Adrian. Nice to see you in. I'm just getting sorted. But at least I managed to go live at 6 o'clock tonight. Hang on. Hi. I'm just doing something on my computer, and then I will concentrate. I'm just sharing over to, except it doesn't want to do it. Come on, stop messing about. It's playing about. It's playing about. So what was I going to say? Dear, oh dear. I'd be dangerous with the brain, wouldn't I? Hi, Kath. Nice to see you. Oh, what was I saying? Right. Okay. I'm just going to share the link, this over to my personal Facebook page. Let's see. It's trying to persuade me to... No, I want to dismiss it. Put a pop-up on there. No, I don't want to upgrade. I want you to go away. Oh, dear. Busy potting bulbs but listening. That's all right. I bet my daughter's in the garden doing gardening stuff. I'm trying. Oh, I am having an issue with my laptop. But let's see. Oh, it's working now. Let's paste in there. So that's all right. I'm just sharing the link. Oh, no, that didn't help. Wait a minute. I shared the link and then I managed to delete it again. I would be dangerous with a brain. Oh, yes, I would. Pretty tough. Yes, so this was a new one that I was mentioning to you in our chat earlier, Kath. This is a top I bought before. It's not the sort of top I usually would go for. I don't know why not, but anyway, it's lovely. But it's not warm enough to wear it yet without a jumper underneath. So I've got it on underneath. Okay, so let's just... There we go. So, yes, and I'll tell you... Hi, Hazel's coming in as well there. So, look... I was looking in the wardrobe for something that would go with my new squirrel earrings. Can you see my squirrel earrings? I don't know. Wait a minute. Hang on. I'll come back to that. I'm just doing something over here. Several people watching in. Right, so let's just, I need to go back over here. That's it. So I don't know. Can you look? Can you see my nice new squirrel necklace? I've been looking for a red squirrel necklace and red squirrel earrings for ages. And yesterday I spotted them in one of our lovely independent shops. But the shop was shut. It wasn't yet open. So I had to go back later to get them. And so I'm really pleased now, because those of you watching in from not on the Isle of Wight, some of you might not know that the Isle of Wight is residency of red squirrels. We don't have grey squirrels, and we don't want grey squirrels, because if grey squirrels get here, they will destroy the red squirrels. So we look, so I've been looking for ages for red squirrel earrings, and I was just walking through the square in Newport yesterday on my way for an appointment, and there they were sitting in the window, red squirrels. And so, of course, I needed something that actually would be right with this. So that's why I'm wearing this today. And this is the first time I've worn these. I see Denise and Elizabeth watching in as well, and Alison's there, and Hazel Downer. Lovely to see you all watching in. Yes, so this is the first time that I'm wearing this. This was one of the items I bought weeks ago when I had a little flurry back in Bellissima. Now, Bellissima's got another fashion show at the end of May. And, of course, when she does a fashion show, she gives discount on the goods. But it's at the end of May, so that's okay. There'll be another pension day before then. But, no, so now... And also, I mean, a lot of the clothes I bought in Bellissima last time, they were for the spring. So this could be worn without a jumper underneath. And I've got some nice white linen trousers on that you can't see. But it hasn't been warm enough to wear them. But earlier on, I didn't have this on, but just now I got a bit chilly, and I thought, well, thank you, Elizabeth. I got a bit chilly, and I thought, I don't want to put the heating on. I'll just put my gilet on. And this was one of my bargains when I was at my daughter's before. This was a £10 gilet. It's got a hood, but I've unzipped the hood because I don't really need the hood on, so I took that off. But it was that bargain. I did mention it before, that it was hanging on a rail, and it said £10 on the rail. And when I took it to the counter, the lady was going to charge me £17, and I said, but it says £10. And she went and checked. Because I said there's lots of them there, and they all say £10. She went and checked, and it was £10, which was great, because, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. Have I got my May fashion show ticket? It just so happens I have, because the minute I saw the fashion show was going to be on, I messaged Tina to put one by for me, and on Friday I went down to Bellissima. Tina wasn't there, but her sister was. And she gave me a top tip about something, about anyway, no, I won't go into that. A little fashion top tip that I wanted to ask something, and she told me. But would you believe it? I walked out. Hello, Abby. I walked out without buying anything except the fashion show ticket. So the fashion show is on the 29th of May. And I will probably live stream it for her if she wants me to. I expect she will. And so looking forward to that. But, I can't have many more clothes because there's not enough room in the wardrobe. Hello, Eric. Eric's watching in. Eric is one of my latest acquaintances. Eric and his lovely lady. They invited me over to that big the big jumble sale for the Daisy bus over at Gurnard Pines, and I know they had another one yesterday, but I couldn't go yesterday. Some of you will have noticed that I was in Newport yesterday, Newport being here on the Isle of Wight, and I had an appointment, and I'll tell you all about my day. And I went out, I caught a bus at 9:30, and I got home something like 5:30 or 6 o'clock. So I just got to, hang on a minute, I've just got to do something. Somebody's just sending me a message, and it's family member. So I usually like to check just in case there's any, family is so precious to me that I always like to check if a message is sent, in case it's an emergency. Like once it was, one night I was live streaming, last year, and it was an emergency and I had to go. So I don't like to not be available for my family. So this was one of my purchases yesterday. My my red squirrel necklace, my red squirrel earrings, and I got a red squirrel pin badge as well, because there might be a time when I wanted, a pin badge on my coat or something like that. So I thought I'd get that as well. The other purchase I made yesterday, hang on, whoopsie. Oh no, it's not an emergency, I don't think. Whoa, hang on. Oh dear, the mouse is playing up. Crikey, come on, mouse. What you doing? I got a naughty mouse. Perhaps it's hungry. Perhaps it wants some cheese. So one of the things I bought yesterday while I was out on my travels in a lovely independent shop. Hang on. Just tell him that I'm live streaming. Right, so look, isn't this beautiful? Hello, Heather, nice to see you. So look, I saw that in one of our little independent shops, and because I'm actually going to be, involved, I'm going to go and film Walk the White, which is a big fundraiser for the hospice here on the island. And I have actually already walked the white. Their emblem is sunflowers, so I saw that and I thought that would be really nice. I'm not quite sure. I did wonder about wearing it around there, but I don't know that that's right. I will find a way of dealing with it. Perhaps I'll wear it round my tummy. It's not big enough to go right round my tummy. But no, it isn't. But I could always extend it with a longer piece. But so that was really nice. I liked that. I thought I'd treat myself to that as well. And look else. Now, I don't know who it was last week. I have a feeling it might have been Ian. I'm not sure. But somebody, like when I said last week, what shall I have on my nails this week? Was it last week, or was it a live stream I did earlier in the week? I can't remember. No, I think it was last week. Somebody said sunflowers. And can you see? I did have sunflowers. Sunflowers on my fingers, and I've got sunflowers on my toes as well. You love sunflowers. I love sunflowers. And sunflowers really cheer you up. Oh, how strange is that? Just showing you my new nails here. And if you watch regularly, you'll know I've got a screen up there. That's my TV screen. And when I'm not watching TV, all my Google photos scroll across there. And as I'm showing you these nails, it's saying I've got new nails, but it was new nails I had last time, my red ones with the sparkle on. But anyway, this is really nice. I found something on Pinterest and with sunflowers on, and I showed the people in the Ride Nails and Spa. I think that's what they call. I get confused. The name is a bit of a mouthful. And I showed them, and he said, it'll be something like that. And what I didn't know, hi, Lynn's watching you. Lovely, nice to see you, Lynn. What I didn't know is that they would do them with transfers. So these were little transfers. So they went in a cupboard at the back. They have all the nail polishes up at the top over there. All the colours, and when I'm sitting there, I'm looking at all these wonderful rows and rows and rows of colours, all sorts of different colours, every shade that you can imagine. And but they didn't go there. They went into a cupboard underneath and brought out some transfers. And so I didn't know they had transfers in there. Anyway, there was when I have my nails done, somebody might start my nails off, and then somebody else might take over, and then somebody else, you might have there's 3 people working there. A husband and wife own the business, and then there's a third person. And they, between them, they do my nails. And I don't mind which of them is doing my nails. It doesn't matter, because they're all very good and they're all very quick. So, anyway, So the chap who was doing my nails, he started to try and peel these things off. He's obviously not used he's not used these before. And so I think he thought that they were peel off sticker. Well, I didn't know because I didn't know how they worked, and he couldn't get them peeling off. So he called the lady over, and they weren't. They were actually, you put them in the water and soak them off. They were transfers that soaked off, and then got their tweezers out, like I've got my tweezers for doing my craft work. My tweezers around here somewhere. They got the tweezers and just did it like that. And so I had that, and then also. Yesterday I had a pedicure as well, because once in every 8 weeks I have a pedicure, and I get my toenails cut because they grow very fast. And then I sit there and I sit in the spa chair, and it's a massage chair. And the first time I had it, I wasn't sure at all because it pummels your back. But now I've got really used to it. I love it. Real pamper session it was on Friday. Well, Friday was a busy day, but anyway, so staying at the spa for a minute. So I had my nails done, and then I had my my feet done, and I sat in there in the massage chair, and it was just really nice. And I decided I would have sunflowers on my big toes. No, oops, I just knocked something. Not that anybody else much notices, but it makes me smile. You know, I'm well, maybe my family might see my bare toes, but I don't wear open toe shoes these days. I wear Crocs because they are better for my feet and better for my posture, and so I don't usually have my toes exposed anymore. But it makes me smile to see little sunflowers on my toes as well. And I had a colour on my toes as well. So I went for a blue on my toes, which you might have seen if you looked at my Facebook page at all, because I put it up because I can. And it does make other people smile as well. So the sunflowers very much to do with very much because I'm doing I've already done Walk the White, and what I'm actually just going to do now, if I can, and let's see if this works. Let's see if it works. Have I got the chat on here? Hang on, I'm going to go on. Oh, there we got the chat. I can see the chat over there. So if I drop this in here, this should be... That's the link. Finally. Finally, I've got it on there. I wonder if it'll show on here. It should do. Let's see. It's not come up on here, but it's on there. It's I might have done. Wait a minute. Let's roll it up. No. That's interesting. So it hasn't come up there. Oh, I think... What? Oh, I know why. Hang on a minute. I'm on the wrong channel. I'm tuning in as from my personal page, and I should be on my own page. Let's go. It is my page. I don't understand the technology. Right, I'm now on the Go Live Granny page on Facebook, and probably if I go on there, I can see more. I don't know. Yes. Wait a minute. Let's do that now. I've muted the sound, so hopefully it wouldn't. I'd be dangerous with the brain, wouldn't I? Hang on. Let's see. Let's put it on here now. I've put it in, but I don't know if anybody can see the link. Let's see if it... Well, that's crazy. Oh, wait a minute. No, it isn't. Let's put it... It's in... I've put it in the chat, but it's not coming up in the chat here. That's odd. I don't know why. Oh, yes, it has now. It has now come up in the link. So that is... there is a way of somehow of putting a link so it stays on there. But that's a bit tricky. And I think probably if I try and do it now, it probably won't work. It will probably... Oh, no, it's crazy. It's saying that the page is not found. That is bonkers, because I went to the Mountbatten page I copied the link and I shared it over here, and it's saying it's not found. And it's the page where I would get some sponsors if they knew how to find the right page. Oh dear. Shenanigans. Not the only shenanigans that we've had this week. What else did I have shenanigans? I had other shenanigans. I can't remember. Somebody needs to remind me what other shenanigans I had. Slimming World had shenanigans this evening. So this evening at 6 o'clock, I was going to watch a Slimming World, the first ever live stream that Slimming World were doing. So I got all ready over there. I was watching it on my big screen. I was going to watch it on my big screen. No, actually, I wasn't. I was going to be doing. I was in the kitchen. I started over there, but I went over to the kitchen side to roast some vegetables, because I want to make a dal, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I thought, while I'm watching, I'll roast the vegetables. And anyway, they couldn't get the live going. You know, some of us do have shenanigans sometimes, but, you know, they have got thousands and thousands of viewers. So, no, it's the first time they've done a live stream on YouTube. I don't know why they didn't do it on Facebook, because, as my son pointed out, they've got over 1 million viewers on Facebook. They've got less on YouTube. But I don't know. There'll be a reason. But they couldn't get it going. And I was chatting to my son and saying, oh, Slimming World having a problem. Now, if there'd been a phone number he could have rung, he would have been able to help them solve it. One link is going to Go Live Granny, one is going to... Oh, right, okay, thank you. Thank you, Kath, you've solved that one for me. I was logged in on the wrong page. I had been over there for something. I know, I went over to that page, didn't I? I know what I've done. I've got 2 tabs open for Facebook on here. And I had the Go Live Granny tab open. And then I shared, oh dear, this is open. I shared the link for the live stream in case some of the people from my Lynn Blackledge ordinary page wanted to come and join us. And then I forgot to go back onto the so I have to do that on the Lynn Blackledge page. I had to go back onto the Go Live Granny page, but I forgot to go back. That was what happened there. And actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share it into the Go Live Granny Facebook page. These are things I haven't done. Now, I might be able to do this from a phone soon, because, oh, I know, I've had phone shenanigans. That's right. So my current iPhone is coming to the end of its life. You know, it's a bit of a sad situation. Certain features are not working on it anymore. And because I use it so much for live streaming and all that sort of thing, then I have got a new phone. But, of course, setting up new phones and things, now it's supposed to be a doddle because it's an iPhone and that's an iPhone, and you're supposed to put them together and they're supposed to sync, and it's just supposed to put all the data over there. And it didn't. And then it was time to come and live stream. Hi, Richard. Time to come and live stream. So I didn't. I have got the phone there sitting, ready for me to sync it, but it didn't sync. I put it in the sink, shall I? Maybe that will work. I don't know. Hair looking nice, must be lack of wind indoors. Absolutely. Thank you. Actually, Jane, this is Jane, that's my hairdresser coming in there chatting with me. Actually, Jane, I'll tell you what, I didn't dry it like I usually do. Normally, I'll wash my hair in the shower. I go and I put some mousse on. I mean, Jane does it, you know, she's the professional. I have to do it my way. But she styles it so nicely that it you know, I can get it reasonable. And normally I dry it in the bedroom. I put mousse on and then I dry it like that, whatever. Today I was so busy. Thank you, Richard. I was so busy doing something else. I was trying to decide what to wear with my new squirrel. Those of you just coming in now, look, I finally found my red squirrel necklace and my red squirrel earrings. So I was trying to find something to wear, and while I was doing that, my hair dried naturally, and so I thought, oh no, I want to do a bit more with it. So I just put mousse on the top of it and brushed it while it was moussey, and that's how it came out. So it's slightly a little bit different than usual, but of course, Jane, I was also thinking there's not much colour left, so maybe soon I shall need some more colour in it, just while you happen to be here. So, anyway, yes, no, Jane and I have known each other for 10 years, I think, and Jane comes to my house. I don't have to go anywhere to have my hair done, which is lovely. And then we usually have a cuppa and a chat afterwards, and we exchange ideas, and she gave me some great ideas about something, and sometimes I help her with something. So, you know, we exchange top tips, which is great. So yes, no, it's not windy indoors. I haven't been out today. I went out yesterday, and yesterday you couldn't see my hair because I had on my incredible edible hat for some of the time. Don't know if anybody saw the pictures of that. And I'll talk about that because it was I had a wonderful day yesterday. I had a wonderful day on Friday. You know, I mean, I think all the other days were not bad, but on Friday, let's go to Friday, shall we? And then I'll tell you what else I did. So on Friday, I went to the community cuppa, as usual, but I only went for just under half an hour because I'm a member of the Time Bank, as some of you will know, and the Time Bank were having a cookery demonstration, and it was a cookery demonstration on dal. Now, I've never made dal before, and I thought, well, I'll use one of my credits, because with the Time Bank, I for the Time Bank, I actually offer my services. I do some knitting for the carnival. I do I help Time Bank with social media. I do bits and pieces like that, and I bank the time. So, you know, supposing I spent an hour doing social media, I do it over a month. I might spend an hour. So I then bank an hour. I get an hour's credit in the bank, in the Time Bank, and then because I wanted to go to the cookery demonstration, I will use one of my credits. I will take, I will do a withdrawal. I will have a credit coming out of the bank to pay, to pay for my cookery session. Anyway, it was absolutely lovely. I've not cooked dal. I didn't know how easy it was, and I didn't know how very cost effective it is. Really, really good. So, and I roasted some vegetables yesterday. And so while I was waiting for the Slimming World live stream to come up, which never did because they had so many shenanigans with it, I was getting some more vegetables ready to roast so that I can make the dal tomorrow, which is what I will do. So that was lovely. And I thought there would be no time to go back to the community cuppa, but there was. I think I had about half an hour left. So because the NatWest is here where we meet for community cuppa, and the Time Bank was right just across the road. So the old St Thomas's Church was decommissioned, and it's become Network Ride, which is like a hub for the youth. It's brilliant. They do amazing work in there. And so that's where the demonstration was. They've got all kitchens and things in there. Except so the person who was doing the demonstration doesn't work in there, so she's working on equipment that she doesn't usually use. And they had an induction hob, and it was being a bit tricky, but somebody else helped them sort it out. So we did get to eat the dal. It was very nice. Delicious, which is why I want to do that again. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going away. I'm going to my daughter's again. And so my air fryer is flashing. I had something in it. I think it'll be fine. It switched itself off, but I forgot to switch it off at the wall. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to my daughter's. So I wanted to use up all the vegetables and things. I don't like to leave anything unless it's got long dates on it. Then I'll leave it in the fridge. But otherwise, I like to use up all the bits and pieces. I don't like to have to carry food to my daughter's. It's a bit of a pain. and last time I left it for my neighbours, so they got a key, but I'm not sure whether, I didn't check with them first, so there's always that thing that they might be away, they might not need it, or whatever. So this time I'm making sure that I use it all up so that we don't have any, shenanigans like that. So I'm that's excuse me. so I was doing that while I was waiting for the Slimming World live stream that never happened. I was talking to my son, and he was saying, well, I can help them fix that. Because he's a dab hand at all those things. That's what he does. That's the world in which he works. And they were really struggling, and they got thousands of viewers watching them, waiting, and some of them were being very rude, you know. And there's no need to be rude. If something doesn't work, just, you know, if the live stream's not coming up, go and do something else. I wasn't wasting time on the live, trying to watch a live stream that didn't work, because I was doing something at the same time, which they could have all been doing. But some of them were being very rude, and they'd say, and somebody said, oh, well, I was thinking of leaving Slimming World anyway, so I'm not going to do it now. What I read is she wasn't, it wasn't working for her because she hadn't got into it, and she just wanted an excuse to go. But there were lots of people being rude. And the thing is, I think they're going to put it up when they do it, I think they're going to put it up to stay. So you could always watch it in the future. But I don't understand why people have to be so rude in those threads. It just seems to be, I think people have got worse since COVID, and it just seems to be, what can we grumble about now? You know, and there were a lot of people like me saying, you know, let's be patient and all that sort of thing. So anyway, 45 minutes later, they decided that they would reschedule. I did try looking up a phone number, looking to see if there was any contact details, because my son could have whipped in there and just helped them out, you know, but we couldn't find any Sunday contact details. You know, it was all their opening hours, so we didn't find anything. But hopefully, but he did reach out. He reached out to somebody major in YouTube, I think it was, or somebody well connected with YouTube, to see if they had a connection with Slimming World, to see if he could help. But we don't know. He tried his best. We tried our best. So let's see. Right, let's see now. There we go. So I've no idea why the Mountbatten page is not working. One link, yeah. So, Kath, did you click on the links? Because when I put the link on, it just said it's not working. The page hasn't been found. So I really don't know what's going on with that. I don't know at all. It's silly, because if you go to the Mountbatten Walk the White page, you can probably put my name in and find it. But it just isn't sharing very well, and that's a bit of a nuisance. But anyway, so I tried, but it didn't work. So anyway, I'm just trying to think what I did earlier in the week. Can't remember the front end of the week, but on Friday, I remember Friday and Saturday. Hi, Sam. So on Friday, after I had gone to, I know. Oh, yes, I do know. So after I had been to the community cuppa, and then been down to St Thomas's, to the Time Bank, had some lovely dal, met some lovely people. Then I went back to the community cuppa, and then I was going to have my nails done soon after that. You clicked on both links, yes, and it didn't work, I suppose. No, thanks, Kath. Anyway, I pay in cash for my nails. So I went to the cash machine to get the money out, and ATM shenanigans I had. Yeah. Last time when I was on the train, I didn't have shenanigans, but I'm having other shenanigans now. So I put my card in, and I know there's money in that account. And I know there was more money in the account than I was trying to take out, but it declined. But fortunately, it didn't eat my card. It declined, and I'm thinking, oh, and I have another bank account, but I didn't have much time, and I wasn't quite sure of my other PIN number, so I didn't want to put it in wrong. So I thought, well, they know me in the spa bar, and they know where I am. Because I'm always putting up my nails on social media, and they see me doing it and they enjoy it. They know where I am. They know who I am. So anyway, I went in there and I said, look, I said, the machine wouldn't give me the money, but I'll go to another cash machine and get it afterwards and come back. Well, I went back to the same cash machine and I suddenly realised so I put it in again, and what it was, I had, I'd got a new card and I'd put it in my purse, totally forgotten that I got a new card, and tried to use the old one. And of course, it wouldn't let me use the old one because I'd got a new one. And so this time I looked in my purse and I'd totally forgotten that. Looked in my, hi Christopher, looked in my purse and found the new one, put the number in, and then it would let me have the money. So I went back and I paid. And then I headed down Union Street because I do rather like Union Street, as you know. I'm always popping in some of the shops there. I go up the other way, up the high street too, but today I was going down. And one of the things I wanted to do was to buy 2 new door keys, because if you remember, last Friday I had shenanigans because I misplaced my door key. Well, I placed it very nicely in my friend's car when she picked me up, placed it there, put the seatbelt on and forgot to pick it up. And if you were listening last week, oh, you've just finished the marathon. Oh, brilliant. 7 hours and 32 minutes. I bet you're tired. Are you staying in London tonight or are you coming back, Christopher? So Christopher's been doing the London Marathon. Rather you than me. I walked 3 miles around Newport yesterday and that was enough. That was tiring. So well done. What were you dressed as this time, Christopher? Were you as the chipmunk or something else? So, what was I saying? Yes, about the door keys. Yes, so last week Jan had given me a lift. So I put the key down, put the seatbelt on and forgot to pick up the key with one of the garden troughs. Oh, you had one of the garden troughs as well. Oh my goodness me. Have you given the garden trough away or have you still got it? So anyway, I'll just repeat the story if anybody didn't hear it last week. So neighbours of mine have got a key. So I knocked on their door, rang their doorbell, but they weren't in. I didn't expect they might be because it was daytime and you know, I think they said they work, but I don't know what hours they work. And they didn't answer. I wasn't surprised. But they then get a message from them because they heard the doorbell and they saw on their phones that I was at the door. They said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, but I can't find my key." But they were on holiday, and I have a feeling they were on holiday abroad. So anyway, I managed to think. You know, I thought it out. I thought, well, I locked the door, and I got in Jan's car. I got out of Jan's car and went to Community Cuppa. And then my brother was meeting me to take me somewhere else. So I didn't go back in Jan's car. And I thought, that's all I've done. Aha! It might be in Jan's car. And it was. And my brother ran me to Jan's house to get it. So then I could get in for what I needed. And then we went off to have dinner last week. So I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea if I got more than one key? And possibly a key safe. So anyway, I have got a key safe coming. That was a yesterday job. But last week when Tracy was watching in, she said, because I said, I must get some keys cut. She said, you're staying in London tonight. Good, I think you need a rest. And you were dressed as a chipmunk. Excellent. There's Tracy now. Oh, look. Oh, brilliant. She's in and she's got the link. Right, I'm going to look and I'm going to click on that. Hang on, I'm going to click on that. No, let's get on the right page. Let's take that off. Let's get on the right page. And she's put the link in. Oh, wait a minute. Let's refresh the page. So I really don't know, Tracy. Hello, Tracy, I don't know. I took the link from the top of my page, my sponsor page. And it just it should work, but it doesn't. Anyway, you've put it in. Look at all that gobbledygook. Let's have a look. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can. Oh my goodness me! What a massive link that is. How did you? Oh, but I'm trying to link on it. It's my mouse is not clicking. My mouse is on strike now. But Tracy, I was just talking about you as you appeared. How funny is that? So Tracy had said, why didn't I put one of those keys on my bungee? She bought me a bungee, one of those bungee key rings that's got a key ring on one end and it's got a clip on the other end. And she bought it for me for my radar key when I was having shenanigans with the radar key. The radar key being the key that you use to open the disabled toilets around the country. And it's been marvellous because I was having shenanigans of having to try and open the door, then put the key away before I lost the key, and then still get in the toilet and all that palaver. So it was marvellous when she bought me this bungee because it's clear, it's fixed to one of the zips on the inside of my handbag. But I pull it out and I can unlock the door and then just let it dangle while I go to the toilet and do all that, and then put it away afterwards. It's marvellous. So, hang on, my mouse doesn't want to work, so I can't click on that link. Don't know why not. But anyway, so she suggested that I did the same with my new door key. Well, that's exactly what I've done. So while I was down Union Street, I tried Hearst first for my door key. That's their motto, try Hearst first. And I went into Hearst, wonderful sort of a hardware. It's what you would have called in the good old days, the olden days, a hardware store. I mean, I don't know what you call those now. What's the modern? Thank you, Christopher. I don't know what do you call that sort of store? It's got everything in it. It's got gardening stuff. It's got do-it-yourself tools. It's got kitchenware. It's got all sorts. And so anyway, I went in there and got my keys cut. I was done and dusted. There was a bit of a queue when I went in, and so I thought, oh, I'm not sure, I might come back. But actually, the queue was gone in 2 minutes, so I just queued there, and it was very quick. Two keys, and it's not a Yale key. It's a long one of those long gold keys, and it was done and dusted in 5 minutes. And so what I did. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. I saw a message come up. Let's go to Messenger and see if I can now retrieve that. Wait a minute. So Tracy has sent it. Whoops. She sent it to me privately. So I can see if I can get the link now. I really don't know what the shenanigans with all this is. It's bonkers, really. Let's have a look and see. My laptop is so slow. Well, which page did you send it to? Did you send it on Go Life Granny or did you send it on the other one? Hang on, let's have a look. Well, that's weird. I saw it come. I saw a message. It said the message was there, and I can't see I can't see the message. Maybe it'll come in a minute. Maybe it's taking its time around the internet. Who knows? Who knows? Dear, oh dear. How strange is that? Let's go back over. Nope. I don't know. Let's have a look. Hang on. So over here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong. I'm not on the Go Live. Oh, I was. No. Well. Oh, Tracy, it's come up now. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay. Let's link. No, now you see my mouse is not working, so I can't click on it. I think this is a naughty mouse. It wants feeding. It wants cheese. It's not cooperating, and I have no idea why. So I'm thwarted every which way. Oh dear, that was not helpful, is it? Tracy's trying to help me, and it's just not working. Let's refresh the page and see if that works. I don't know. See, technology, just defies me. So what I've done now is I've now got the keys, and I have attached it to the bungee that's inside. So one of them I've attached to the bungee inside my handbag. So even if I had the other door key and I mislaid it because, I put it in somebody's car, thank you. So yes, thank you. So oh my goodness, a sunflower. Talking about sunflowers, there's a lovely, great big sunflower that I took a picture of in a garden centre, and it's just come up on my screen up there. Yes, so I've got one on a bungee inside the handbag, so even if I'd lose the other one somewhere, unless I lose my handbag, I should be all right. So I've got a radar key and a front door key. So that solved that one for the time being. I'm sure I shall have other shenanigans, going on, but that worked. And I was very pleased. That was very quick, and they didn't cost me much either to have those cut. So I was well pleased about that. And so this was on Friday. So and I had a great, when I was in the spa, in the Ride Nails and Spa. That's it, Ride Nails and Spa. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. I met some lovely. I always meet some lovely people in there. The people who run it are nice, but the customers always seem to be nice. And not this time, but the time before, or a couple of times ago, I had no idea what I wanted on my nails. And the lady next to me, she said, "Have you tried the cat? What do they call it? Cat's eye." That was the one I had that was like shimmery, that looked a bit like different cut. It looked a different, slightly different color, as you turned it. So that was the cat's eye. So that was a lady who'd sat next to me. She said, then, why don't you try that? And then the lady the other side of me, I said, do you know what? I said, I haven't even chosen what I want on my nails. Oh, I can't decide. And then she couldn't decide either. But she ended up having just silver, glittery silver on hers, and it looked beautiful. But that was ringing in my head, whoever it was who'd said, and somebody thinks it was Ian who suggested it, that I had sunflowers. So any of you just coming in now who didn't notice, I've got sunflowers on my fingers. So it was brilliant. But so I said to them, I had my nails done, then I went to the foot spa, and oh my goodness, I have the most tickly feet. But I'm not the only one, apparently, because it happened to the lady next who came and sat in the next foot spa, and she was having hers done, and she had tickly feet as well. There's just one bit of my foot that actually, I have to sit like this to try and stop giggling and wriggling. But anyway, so I had my feet done, but no, while I was sitting there and this lady and I were trying to decide, she said she'd go for silver. I said, oh, I don't know. I said, oh yes, I know, I'll have sunflowers. And but then, so they did them with the transfers, and they got them out of this cupboard. And I said, have you got more transfers in there? They said, yes. So sometime I want to look in that cupboard, because I bet you they've got Christmas ones and Easter ones and animal ones and flower ones and you name it. So I want to look in that cupboard next time. But Jane, my hairdresser's watching earlier. I don't know if she's still watching now. But she's, I think she's having her, she was the one who recommended that nail bar to me, and I think she's having her nails done tomorrow, and she's gonna ask to look in the cupboard. She said, I think we want to know what you've got in there. It was wonderful, but they're so tiny. It's a delicate procedure to do it, but they did it all well, so that was okay. What am I trying to do now? I don't know what I'm trying to do here now. I've forgotten what I was doing, because now my mouse is working now. So let's see whether it will do anything. Oh, wait a minute, let's see. Aha! It worked! it worked. So wait a minute. So if it's a terribly long. I wonder if I can do a Bitly account. Wait a minute, I don't know if I can do it by Bitly and shorten the link. I used to have a Bitly account where you could put a great long link like that and put it in and it shortened it. Now I'm just going to put the whole thing on the page. You'll have to forgive me, folks. Let me see if I can put the whole thing on the page, as Tracy has very kindly done it for me. But I don't know how. So how did you get it to work when it? So what did you do, Tracy? Because I just copied the bit at the top. When I copy it, it says it's not found. But so you must have done something more magical. I don't know what that was. Let's see. I've forgotten now what I'm trying to do. Oh my goodness. Let's have a look. Oh, I was trying to put the link on, wasn't I? Silly me. Wakey, wakey, Lindy Lou. Right. Let's go over here and put it. Let's try and find the right link. I'd be dangerous with the brain, wouldn't I? So let's go. Let's click on here. I'm now acting as the Go Live Granny, it says. I am the Go Live Granny. What do you mean I'm acting as the Go Live Granny? And that's when I switch between the two pages. Right, Little Miss Fabulous. My daughter bought... Oh, it's not on that side. Hey, it's on that side. Look, Little Miss Fabulous. My daughter bought me that. Throw glitter in today's face. That's what it says. Oh. So now, for some reason, it hasn't loaded properly and all the comments are not there, so I can't drop the link in because it's not giving me the option to drop the link in. Oh my goodness, what is going on? This is dreadful, isn't it? It's not helpful at all. Never mind. Worst things. Oh, it is now. Let's see. Worst things happen at sea. Let's see if I can make it work now. Let's put it in. Oh, the mouse is working now. And let's push the send button. I've done it. Oh, look. Look, look, look. I think we've got it. I think it's working. There it is. It's working. So if anybody, after all this shenanigans, I hope somebody might make a donation. It would be very nice. You don't have to make, if everybody did a little bit rather than one or two people doing a lot, that would be brilliant. Right. So, okay, look. So Tracy's put it there as well. So let's see. It's not come up from you, Tracy, yet, but it's come up on here, but not on there. I think it's somewhere around the internet. Oh dear. Anyway, so yeah, so Friday was a lovely day. I think what time did I get home? Oh yes, I had to get home. I had to be home by 6 o'clock because I had somebody coming to see me. So I think I got home. What time did I get home? I got home about 5 o'clock, I think. Oh no, I was just after 5. I think I got home. And so that was fine. And then this person came to see me. That was okay. And then I think I was quite tired. And then was it? No, it was last night. I fell asleep very early on the sofa. So I had an appointment. I was going to look at kitchens because I can. And I had an appointment at 11 o'clock yesterday in Newport. And then I found out that Hearst's in Newport had got a trade event going on, which was, obviously, something to tell the world about. Maybe I might buy something, or maybe I might just tell everybody about it. So I thought, oh, well, if their trade event was from 9 till 1, and so I had to go first because my kitchen appointment was 11 o'clock. I knew I wouldn't get back to you know, in time for the event. So I decided, hang on, why has it got a great big purple band across the bottom of my page here? I don't know why. Anyway, so I, what am I trying to say? So, yes, so I was going, I wanted to go to hers first. Oh, I did fall asleep. I didn't have a great, no, didn't have a great night's sleep on Friday night. I can't remember what happened, but I know that I slept a bit longer than I meant to. So I'd meant to go out, I meant to get up at 7:30 and I didn't. And I actually got out a bit later than I intended, but it didn't matter. So I went across to Hearst's, and little did I know that you could have, they were doing bacon butties and coffee. Well, if you looked at my Facebook page, you'll see I put a piece of bacon and a coffee. I'm gluten-free, and the buns weren't gluten-free. And so I just had the bacon. I said, can I just have the bacon? So I had the bacon, and I had the coffee, free coffee. And then there was a little game of golf. I don't know. I think I put that. I can't remember if that's gone up on my social media yet. I had a little game of golf. You had to hit the golf, you know, the golf ball and get it into this little tiny, you know, the little hole. And you had to get it through. They put some tools, boxes of tools, and you had to get it through the holes between there. I did that perfectly well, and I got it very near the hole, and then when I tried to get it in the hole, it went just all over the place. So I didn't win a prize, but never mind. But I had a lot of fun chatting with them, and then there was a guy, there was a darts game that you could play, and all sorts of things going on. And then I had a quick look round, but I didn't have time to do live streaming there, which I wanted to do, because I needed to get to the kitchen place, and time was running on. And I had to walk across town to the kitchen place. So I was on my way over there, and on my way over there, I spotted somebody I knew sitting out of a cafe. I said, I can't stop. I'm going, you know, I'm going to be late. But anyway, funnily enough, later on, when I was so the person sitting outside the cafe, I said. Oh, no, that was when I was going to Hearst. That's right. That was before I went. I can't remember. But I said to him, oh, there's an event going on in Hearst. I think I'm coming back from Hearst. That's right. And I said, oh, there's an event on Hearst. And he said, oh, perhaps I'll go down and have a look. So funnily enough, when I went back to Hearst after I'd been to the kitchen place, I bumped into him. So we had a picture done outside Hearst because we can, and had a little chat and whatever. So anyway, I went to the kitchen place, but I did not go with an empty bag. I went bearing presents, and some of you might have seen the social media and the presents I was bearing. So bearing in mind going to a kitchen place, I had already been to this kitchen place before, and I threw into the conversation that I make teapots and cups. And I said, oh, you know, I do this paper crafting and I love teapots and cups. So these should be, you know, maybe you should have them in the kitchen. It was some throwaway line, something like that. And the chap said, well, they'd have to be in purple and... Oh, how weird is that? As I'm talking about that, it's come up on my Google photograph. These are random. All these pictures are random. But how does it know that I was just about to talk to you about the teapot and the cups? So anyway, he said, oh, they'd have to be in our brand colours, which are purple and black. But I don't think he really paid much attention to that, and the conversation was gone. So when I walked in with a purple and black teapot and 2 purple and black cups, he was gobsmacked. And I, you know, if you want to see them, they're on my Facebook page. But also, you will see that I was also wearing, well, it might not have looked like that yesterday. It might have looked like this. I think it was this way round. That's right, because Jess in the showroom, she liked the banana, so I put it this way round. And look, chocolate eclairs and all sorts. And so I'd told them also, because they're a kitchen showroom, and they have sort of vegetables on the side. but they're plastic vegetables. I said, you don't need plastic vegetables, you need knitted vegetables. No, I didn't quite say it like that. What I said was, I told them the story of this hat. Now, I know lots of you have heard it before, but there's always new people listening in. So I'm afraid you're going to have to hear it again. And if you don't like it, you can know where the off button is. You can scroll on by. Hang on. Ooh. Talking too much. This doesn't happen all day. It's only when I talk too much. So, yes. So I made, I made these, and then I made one of those lovely carrier bags that I do. Hang on, just a sec. Oh right, okay. Tristan's heard back from Slimming World. That's interesting. Right, okay. So what was I going to say? Yes, the cups and saucers. So I think you saw previously I made a. So when I put the things in, I like to. What I do, rather than make a packaging in a box or something like that, I use one of those paper carrier bags, and then I cover it and make it match whatever I'm doing. So I did that. I had a brown carrier bag. I put purple on it. I put a teapot on it, and I put a lovely message on it. Don't worry, Jill. It doesn't matter. This is not like school. You don't have to come in at 7:30 and leave when I leave. You come and go as you like. A friend of mine the other day, she saw me. So on Friday night, I live streamed making the teapot that I'm talking about. I was live streaming making the teapot and the teacups. And it was about a 3-hour live stream. And a friend of mine said, oh, Lynn, she said, you talk too much. I can't possibly watch all your live streams. I said, it doesn't matter. I said, I do the live streams. There are people out there who are on their own who absolutely love the company of me chatting through what I'm doing. There's no rules about this. You can pop in and pop out. It's not like school. I'm not taking notes and saying, oh, well, so-and-so was late today. It doesn't matter. I'm grateful if you come in at all, even if you're here for 2 minutes. So please don't ever worry, but it's nice to see you in. Did you, giving the kitchen, please, the cups and teapot mean that they are taking some money off your kit? It would be nice, wouldn't it? They did buy me cake, but they were buying me cake anyway. I think they were buying me cake in the hope that it would push me over the line for having a new kitchen. I did tell them I was gluten-free, so they bought me gluten-free cake, but it was not Slimming World friendly, not at all. And I know that I'm going to have to work hard to compensate for that this week, but that doesn't matter. I will. No. But they were so thrilled with this this teapot and teacup, and they've put it in one of their glass cabinets, and they put it all on their social media page. I mean, I copied their social media page to my page because I was so flattered. So they've put it in one of their glass-fronted cabinets, and on their Facebook page they said, "Oh, you've got to come in and find it, find the teapot and that." But what I did as well, but I forgot. So I took the Incredible Edible Hat because the story of this, I started that, didn't I? And I didn't finish. So the story of this hat, sorry if you've heard it before, but this hat was made originally. This is not how it looked originally. It was made for the entry, the fruit and vegetable entry in the county show. They had an horticulture tent, so it's like horticulture but in art form. And what you could do was make fruit and veg in any art form. So of course, because I'm a knitter, I knitted fruit and veg. I know that's fruit, but that is certainly not veg. Oh, I don't know. Can you count chocolate in the fruit and veg? I don't know. Some people try. Anyway. So it was a beautiful hat. And, I'm pretty proud of this hat, even though it's changed. And originally, now this is part of a pineapple. It hasn't got its leaves on it, but the original hat like this had a pineapple on the top. and it had all the leaves coming out. And it had all sorts of other fruit on it all round. And my son and his then future wife, who is now his wife, they came to stay, and they were looking at my hat, and they said, we've got friends who run a kitchen showroom, and they want it is nice to have a treat now and again, isn't it, Pauline? That's right, you know. Trouble is, I've got to work hard to get rid of the treat off, you know. But it's not going to... I lost 4 stone. It's not going to put 4 stone back on unless I keep doing it. So I'm not going to keep doing it. And I enjoy the treat even more because I don't do it regularly. So anyway, so back to the hat. So what I did, they wanted some fruit and they wanted some fruit and veg for their... No, they wanted fruit for the kitchen showroom. And I could make it and send it, but that was going to involve somebody in paying postage, and I didn't see why we should pay postage if we didn't need to. So what I did was said, what do you want? And I got my scissors and I chopped off the things that they wanted from the hat. I can't remember what it was they had. I need to find a picture of the original hat. Well, that's going back many, many moons ago. It might be somewhere in my Google photographs from many years ago. Anyway, so that was that. So it left holes, you know, it left gaps on the hat. And so I thought, never mind. Oh, and I've just been talking about Hearst. There's Hearst has just come up on the screen. Now, all these lovely... I love my photographs scrolling all the time. I love it. So anyway, so I thought, right, well, I can re-knit all those things. Now, I tell you, the pineapple's not quick to knit because it's got a rather fancy pattern in it. I usually, most of my knitting is plain knitting. Even when I do fancy, they look fancy. A lot of it's plain knitting. But that was one I really had to concentrate on to get all the stitches like that. And then I've got to make there are lots of leaves, so that's quite a lot of work as well. I love doing it, don't get me wrong. But so I was going to put the hat back together, but of course, before I had a chance to put the hat back together, I had an opportunity to go out and wear a hat, and this was the hat I wanted to wear. And it was because the pastor's wife from the True Vine Church in Newport asked me if I would make her a hat because it was Wear a Hat to Church Day, and it was in raising funds for the brain charities on the island. You know, so people, you know, to do with people who've had brain tumours and their families and that sort of thing. So it was raising funds for that. And I decided that I'd like to go to church and join in with the fun of wearing a fancy hat to church and all that. But of course, I had a very bald hat, didn't I? And I didn't have anything to match this. I had other hats with bits on, but nothing like this. So I wanted to do the wow factor. And so I thought, oh, I haven't got time. It's only 2 or 3 days away. I mean, that takes the best part of a day, would do, to knit. It probably would take a whole day with all the leaves as well. And some of the other things would not take nearly as long, but I didn't have enough time. I knew, even if I didn't go to bed, I knew I couldn't do it in the time. But I still wanted to go to church. So I looked round my flat. Now, how many of you would have a string of sausages over here and a sandwich over there and something else like that? You're not all as bonkers as me. But, you know, I love knitting all sorts of funny things and cakes and sandwiches and all that sort of thing. So I just knit them randomly sometimes, whether I've got a need for them at that time or not. And then they just end up, you know, I'll have a box of stuff over there and a box of stuff there. So when I looked round, I found all these bits. I found the chocolate eclair. Any fruit and veg was already on here. Let's see what we've got on here. We have a piece of pizza. I've got a wonderful knitting book, and it's 100. I can't remember what it's called. 100 fun things to knit, and they're quick things. So the piece of pizza came out of that. This is a donut. I don't think that was in that book. This is a ginger cream, and then we've got a piece of Battenberg here. Can you see the Battenberg? And we have a strawberry tart, look. And a sandwich, a tomato, what's in that? Ham and tomato sandwich. We've got grapes, they were originally on there. Here's the string of sausages. And there's one of those little biscuits with chocolate on the ends. And then we've got a sausage. No, that's not a sausage roll. That's a Swiss roll. There is a sausage roll on here, I know. There's the sausage roll over there. And the fried egg, of course. That would have been part of the original hat. So would that. And so would the orange. And the courgette. I don't know. That's a courgette. And that's a cucumber. No, one of those is a courgette. One of them is a cucumber. There's a mushroom. That was part of the original hat. There's another sandwich. Oh, that looks like a beef sandwich. Beef and mustard, is it? Maybe. Eclair. And the apple would have been part of the original hat. There's a biscuit there that was new on the hat. And so you can see. So what I did was find enough things that filled all the gaps. So that I had a hat that I could wear to church. So I did, and I had great fun. And I've loved this hat. And I've worn this hat so many times when you need that sort of hat. It's going to squash my hair, but never mind. I can soon brush that up again. And so I do remember wearing this hat and sitting in my front garden. And when it was National Knit in Public Day, because you have to go, if you're a knitter, you have to sit in public, knit, and what do you knit? Well, you wear your knitted hat, and you do, I don't know what I was knitting while I was wearing this, but I was sitting in public, and it was great fun. And you know me, I'm bonkers, so it doesn't matter. I don't pretend to be anything else. Hi, Laura's watching in now. Nice to see you. I've done knitting for Laura as well. I made her a little... She wanted, oh, that was around, oh, that's so weird that Laura just came into the broadcast and was watching it, because I made a replica of her Chihuahua. That's right, isn't it, a Chihuahua? It was around I gave it to her the same day as I gave the pastor's wife her hat. We were together in the same cafe. And that, oh, how many coincidences are popping in tonight? So anyway, Laura wanted a Chihuahua. First of all, I had to look and find out what a Chihuahua looked like. No, she sent me a picture of her Chihuahua. So then I go in through all my knitting books and all the knitting patterns, and I found a Chihuahua, and I managed to make it as near to the colours of her Chihuahua as I could, and it was great fun, and I enjoyed it, and she loved it. So, you know, I just love doing all these things. So, I mean, the things I've knitted, unbelievable. You think your friend Jean is going to sleep now? She's tired. Night, night, Jean. Night, night. I hope you get a good night's sleep. I hope I get a good night's sleep, because last night, after the very busy day I had yesterday, I sat on my sofa. I didn't even put my legs up, which was naughty, because I'm supposed to rest my legs up, which is probably why my legs felt a bit swollen today. And I haven't got them up now, but when I finish, I'll get them, you know, I'll make sure they're up. And I fell fast asleep over there, and I don't know how many hours I slept there. And then I eventually got up and went to bed at some silly o'clock hour, like I do. But I was very tired yesterday because I walked the app on my phone told me I walked 3 miles yesterday. Well, I went to Hurst, and I went to the kitchen shop, then I went back to Hurst, and then because I was in Hurst, I was near Lidl's, and Lidl's, and I don't usually shop in Lidl's because it's usually too far to go. But I know that my daughter shops in Lidl's and gets a lot more bang for her buck in there. So I thought, I'm going to go. Even though I was tired, it meant I had to go that way before I went home for the bus. I still did it. I put some stuff from Lidl's. I went in the middle of Lidl, and I couldn't get down the middle of Lidl because some guy had a great big trolley there with all the things that he was supposed to be putting there, but the middle of Lidl was blocked. Never mind. Didn't matter really. So anyway, so where was I? I diverted from what I was saying. Totally forgot what I was saying. But that's nothing new, is it? So, oh yes. So when I was on my way to the kitchen shop, no, it wasn't. When I was on my way to Hurst, got off the bus. I have to go to Hurst this way. And then when I finished at Hurst, I have to go that way to the kitchen shop and then go back to Hurst over there. It was backwards and forwards. Anyway, I went across the square, and the Available Light Company is a brilliant shop. Night, Christopher. You're off to bed. I'm not surprised. No, you won't see me on Friday. I'm not there this week, Christopher. I'll see you the following Friday. So Christopher comes to Community Cuppa. I'll see you a week on Friday. Okay. So anyway, what was I saying? I was talking about. Oh yes. So I went across St Thomas's. No, not St Thomas's Square. What's it called? Is it St James's Square? The one in Newport. And I went across there, and there's a wonderful shop that's called the Available Light Company, and it has Steve who runs the shop with his wife. I've known him for years, and he does the most beautiful photography, and that's how I first knew him. I knew him before he ever had the shop, and I used to see him at shows, you know, at the county show and different shows where he would be selling his artwork, and it was super. And then he opened a shop, and now the shop is, you know, he sells all sorts of his artwork, and then he sells other Isle of Wight related goods. And in the window were the red squirrels earrings, but he wasn't open because I was going there before 10. I think he probably opens at 10. I thought I must go back and get those, because I've been looking for red squirrel earrings for a long time, because they're, you know, because we have red squirrels on the Isle of Wight. And so on my way back, I did go in there, and I said, did he make them? No, he doesn't make them, but obviously he sells them because they're all the other stuff is all related to the Isle of Wight that he does. And when I looked, it's actually, the note in the box said, this is this, whatever this is made, I don't know what it's made of, but it's from New Zealand. But I didn't mind that our red squirrels have come from New Zealand, because I so wanted red squirrels and I haven't found them anywhere else. So that was good. And of course I was shopping local, supporting a local business, which I love to do. But he wasn't the only business I supported yesterday, because I went, I'll finish telling you about I told you about this. I'll finish telling you about the shenanigans in the kitchen place in a minute. Didn't finish telling you about that. I've got some things on the table to remind me, and then I forgot, like you do. So what was I going to say? Yes. So I went in there, and then in that square there was another lovely shop, and I forgot what it was called. Come on, Google photo, bring me up the picture of the shop that I can't remember. Come on, that's the time when I want you to do it. The shop is in. Yes, thank you. So, St Thomas's, is that St Thomas's Square? Because we've got St Thomas's in Ryde, and I was getting confused. So is the square in Newport St Thomas? I do get very confused. But anyway, Tracy says it's St Thomas's, so it probably is, because you know Tracy's usually right and I'm usually wrong. I don't care. So I see Vivian's watching you. So this I showed you this earlier, but this I bought in one of the lovely shops. So there's the Available Light Company, and then you've got the Lloyds Bank along there, and then there's a shop there. I can't remember what it was called. It started with an M, but I can't remember what it was. I don't know if you can, Tracy. And then next to it, you've got the disguise shop, the fancy dress shop, and I just happened to have to go in there. So I went in this shop. Hi Lynn, beautiful day here in Kentucky. Oh, I'm glad that's beautiful. We've had a beautiful day here on the Isle of Wight. My daughter's had a beautiful day over in Wiltshire as well, because she was talking to me and she was in her garden. So anyway, so I loved the shop that I got this in. Was great because it's got a little ramp into the shop, so people like me with little trolleys can get in. It's really good. And then I came out of that. Oh, Master of Disguise is what the fancy dress shop's called. As I came out of that shop, having bought this, I then realised he'd got a little ramp up into his shop, which I had to go in. So I went in, And do you know what I got? The one with the big church on is St Thomas's. Thank you. Yes, it was that one. Yes, that's right. Oh dear, I get... Wait a minute. So what's the Newport Minster? Isn't that the church there? Or do they call it St Thomas? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, Tracy. Thank you so much for helping me. The one with the works on is St James's. Oh yes, right. Okay, yes. No, it was the big one. It was definitely St Thomas's. That's right. So that's right. Oh, you get me sorted out all the time, Tracy. Where would I be without you? I'm glad you're in the broadcast tonight. So I got this, and then I came down that ramp and up in the next ramp, and then I was saying to the chap in Master of Disguise, I said, "Oh, that's really helpful having the ramp." He said, "Yes," he said, "but it works for wheelchairs and for me." But he said mobility scooters, a lot of them have got the works low down, and the way they come in, they get stuck. It's not easy, but he's done his best. They're listed buildings. They can't alter them. They can just put the ramps like that. They were only little ramps, not like ramps I'd seen before. But it was good. But I did not come out of the dressing up shop empty-handed. It was not something to wear, but it's something that that was not fun. I take that off because I'm a bit hot with it on. It is very warm, this hat. Very, very warm. So any guesses what I might have bought in the fancy dress shop? He sells all sorts of things in there. He sells wigs and swords and so much stuff. So much stuff. But because of St Thomas's Church, which is now Church Minster. Right, oh, thank you, Pauline. So St Thomas's Church is the Minster. Minster Church of St Thomas's New. Thank goodness I've got that sorted out. I won't lose sleep tonight over it now. It is confusing, isn't it? Because I always remembered it as the Minster, and then I heard people talking about St Thomas. Anyway, we're sorted. Thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Tracy. I now know. Now I've got it right. That's sorted it out. Thank you. Well, you know where I was, even if I didn't know where I was. I knew where I was, but anyway. So, I'm going to give you a little clue about what I bought, because I buy random things, as you know. So if I mentioned the genie, would that give you a clue as to what I might have bought in the fancy dress shop? That's where I'm parking that one. I found something I couldn't resist. And let's see if any of you can guess what I bought in the shop. So it wasn't something to wear. I'll give you a bit more clue if you don't come up with it, but I expect somebody will come up with it now. So if I mention, you will be a genius if you work the answer out. So let's see if you can. So anyway, I'll show you in a minute. So I went in there, and then where else? Oh, so so this was after I've been to the kitchen shop. So I'm going back to the kitchen in a minute. I think, yes, I am. And so I then, yes, I did a lot of walking around, and that's right. Then I went to Hearst, and I did a lot of taking pictures in there, because I'm going to make some social media reels, some reels up for them just to show off their shop, because I can. And you know what? I don't need a £17,500 contract to do it, unlike Ryde Neighbourhood Board, who've allocated somebody £17,500 to run a business association. They did it way back in November. It was supposed to start in November. £17,500 of public money, and it hasn't happened. And that money could be feeding some of our very poor people. Tracy's got it in one. Look. I have a I have a magic lamp. Well, I don't know if it's magic. If I rub this, will I get a genie? I got a genius, Tracy. I don't know. Maybe something will come up on the screen now if I rub my magic lamp. Look, gotta have a magic lamp. I could not resist. And it wasn't very expensive, so it just appealed to my nature. And I'm sure I shall be able to do something at some stage. I don't think we're doing a carnival float on Tracy saying no. So I'm sure it will come in it's useful at some stage. I'm not quite sure when. But it just made me smile. And I thought it would make my audience smile as well. So there you go. Keep rubbing, keep rubbing. No genies appeared. A rabbit's appeared up there. Me with my rabbit ears on back in St Ives. But there you go. So anyway, yes, I'm not sure you get a prize for that. I'm not sure you get a trophy for that. Do you remember my trophy? Look, that's the trophy. That's the trophy die. That's the set of dies. And of course, I presented my brother with a trophy in the kitchen shop. Yes, a bit weird, isn't it? So last week, I think, I might have told you that I was making a trophy like that out of card for my brother because because we had a thing going on in the family WhatsApp group, and he had guessed an answer or something, and somebody said, oh, you get the trophy. So I made him a trophy. But of course, he lives in Newport, I live in Ryde, and I didn't have time to go and do a special trip to him. But of course I was going to be in Newport on Saturday morning, and so I said, oh, he was doing something for part of the morning. I said, oh, I think I'm going to be in Newport for quite a long time. I said, so I will be at the kitchen place. Only I didn't properly tell him where the kitchen place was. What I did do is I used voice to text. And the kitchen place is called Kutchenhaus. It's a German company. And of course, Siri had a right old game with that one, and I didn't check. So it had spelt it totally wrong. But it was sort of phonetically right. So my brother was asking these people if they knew, and I'd put in there, but I don't know why he didn't just get on the phone and ring me, because I could have told him. But anyway, so he was asking people around. Your friend Jeannie's 94 and had her birthday on the 6th of March. Excellent. Excuse me. So, you're sad now. Why are you sad? You don't get a trophy? Are you sad because you don't get a trophy? Oh, my goodness. Oh, okie dokie. I understand where you're coming from. So, you are funny. You do make me laugh, Tracy. Yes, so I, let me think. Yes, so I knew I'd be at the kitchen place. And so I sent him the message, and I said it's near Cineworld, but he still couldn't place it. But of course, it wasn't helpful to give him a spelling that was totally wrong. So he was asking his friends, "Oh, do you know what this place is?" One of the people he was with, one of his friends, I think is dyslexic or something like that, but did it phonetically. So he read it as it sounded, which is what Siri. I spoke it and Siri put it how she thought it was, So because this person read it that way, they then knew where it was. Somebody said, oh, yes, I know where that is. So he came and found me in there. And I presented him with his trophy. And we had a lot of banter in there. That was lots of fun. And then, did he have cake? I know that my cake was bought specially for me. It was, if there was cake there, but I'm not sure if he had any or not. But mine was a special piece of cake. No, you get a medal, Tracy. Oh right, you're voting that Tracy has a medal, does she? In our family, I think it was my husband that used to say, oh, you get a medal or maybe a chest to put it on. Just one of those fun phrases from our family history that probably nobody else is interested in, but it just makes me smile. Anyway, so my brother went on his merry way, and I spent hours and hours in this kitchen place, deciding if I'm going to. I haven't signed any dotted line or anything yet. If I'm going to have a kitchen, it's got to really work every little bit. You know, I've got to be able to reach the place, you know, up here and whatever. Anyway, all that sort of thing. So, banter is very good. It is. Cake, you're saying. Yes. You will next month, which she will get a medal next month, because when you walk the white, you get a medal. I'll get a medal too, because I've already walked the white. I haven't told them I've walked the white yet, but I get a medal too, because I did that. So she'll get a medal and I'll get a medal. So that would be nice. So anyway, yes, so I spent hours and hours, you know, talking to the kitchen guy, and and yeah, a cup of coffee's just come up that reminded me I forgot to tell you something on Friday. I'll nip back to Friday, shall I? And then I'll come back to the kitchen place. So on Friday, I forgot that after I'd been to have my nails done, I went and had a cup of coffee before I went down Union Street to get my keys cut. And I was having coffee in a place called Higher Grounds. And Andrew, who runs that coffee shop, I met him years and years ago when he ran a coffee van, you know, and he used to go round in his coffee van, and I'd met him then. You have several for Walk the White. Excellent, Richard. So I was in his shop, and he had been busy early in the day, but actually at that point it was only me in there. And some people had been in and gone out again. And I said, that's right, I said I've got to go and get keys cut because I lost my keys. So anyway, the coffee cup was sitting on the table in his. That's what reminded me about this story. So I said I've got to go and get keys cut because I lost my key. So he said, do you know about AirTags? And I'd heard something mentioned about AirTags, but hadn't really registered about it. And so Tracy's got several medals as well. So I didn't really register about the AirTags, something about it. Anyway, he gave me a demonstration. I videoed it. So I haven't put it up on social media yet. I need to do it. So he gave me a demonstration. So I don't know if some of you will know what AirTags are. But AirTags, you attach them to your keys and it links to your phone, and you can find them if they go missing. So he did it. His keys were in the back, right in the back of in his private bit of the shop, and he was at the front of the shop, and so he showed me, and he went on his phone, and it does a bit like that. You know that game when you had to go and find somebody that was hidden, and somebody would say, you're getting warmer, or oh no, now you've moved away, you're getting colder and colder. It was like this. It was telling him he was getting nearer to his keys, and then it rings an alert and you can find it. Funnily enough, he was telling me all about that. AirTags are great. Yes, they are. He was telling me all about that, and then it was on Morning Live that you can have them something like that in your luggage. And you can track your luggage. They were showing somebody was tracking their luggage that had gone missing, but they were able to alert the airport staff to where the case actually was. And it was amazing. And apparently they're not that expensive, these things. So anyway, I will investigate AirTag as well, in case I lose my handbag, because of course I'm not going to lose my key because it's attached to my handbag, but I might lose my handbag. So that's what we'll do. So your niece has an AirTag on her dog's collar. Excellent. And you had Money Finder. You had Money Finder. It was called a Jack Russell. Oh, so did your Jack Russell always find the money? I don't know. Anyway, So that's why I diverted back to Andrew's shop, because he was telling me about. I was actually sharing some information with him. I've forgotten what I was. So we gave each other some top tips. I can't remember. Oh, I was telling him certain. Oh no, I can't quite remember. So anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole. So let's hop back to the kitchen shop. So got to run down the shop as need milk. I'll catch up on replay. Night. In fact, I'm not going till Tuesday, Tracy. But thanks for being my aide memoir again and helping me out with the things that I got stuck with, like you always do. Wonderful. You deserve a medal for that, or even a trophy. All your 3 dogs found notes in Grassy Park. Oh, I thought you meant they found your notes and chewed them all up. I thought that's what you were going to say. No, that's really good. So that's okay. So back to the kitchen shop. We keep going back to the kitchen shop, don't we? And on my way out, I suddenly remembered biggest £20 note, one in York. Oh, 2022. Excellent. So on my way out of the kitchen shop, I suddenly remembered that I had taken them cake. Because they were giving me cake, I wanted to show. I didn't want to leave these because I'm going to use these for something else. But I thought I would show them cake. I should have put it down when I gave them the teacups and that, but I forgot. So there was a piece of Battenberg out of that wonderful book that's got lots of lovely things I make, and a mince pie, and a meringue, a creamy meringue. And then little sort of fairy cake jam sandwich with a little cherry on the top. It's a purple cherry, and I haven't quite tied the end in, so I just wrapped it round like that. But anyway, I did remember to show them just before I went out of the showroom. But it was just lovely. So I had a lovely, lovely day. And then yes, after I'd done that, I did go back to Hearst to do some photographs and things around there. And then I went to Lidl's because I was near Lidl's. And by the time I came out of Lidl's, I was very tired. So I left home at about 9:15. And I think I got home somewhere near 6 o'clock. And my app showed me that I'd walked 3 miles. Might not sound a lot, but for me it is. So that was a very busy day. That fairy cake looks really jolly good. Thank you. And I'll tell you what, unlike the cake that I had in the kitchen showroom yesterday, that was Saturday, yes. These are full of fibre but no calories. I can't say the same for the one I had. But anyway, but one of the other things I was looking at, so I had a lovely time. I was very tired and fell asleep, Actually, that's right. I fell asleep very early over in the chair. Oops. And didn't go to sleep with my legs up, and they were a bit swollen today, so I've got to be a bit more careful. But one of the things while I was... Oops, I've just dropped one of my dies on the floor, but I know where it is. I still haven't found my magnetic telescopic magnet that picks them up without them bending down. It's around here somewhere. It will turn up. But I fancied making these as well. I've got this kit, so these are like mugs, and they can either have a saucer and a spoon, and they've got actually biscuits, little biscuits you can make. Look on the other side, there's a spoon and little biscuits, but it's a mug, so you can have it as a mug without a saucer, which I think I would do. And you never know, I might make some purple and black mugs when I go next, if I go next to the kitchen showroom. So busy girl. So today I've had a very lazy, quiet day, but I did have shenanigans with my trying to prepare my new phone, which I would do. I will sort it. It just I didn't have much time, and then then we had the shenanigans of the Slimming World live stream not working. But never mind. That's life, isn't it? You're sad that you didn't get the game dice set. Which game was it? Oh, this the same dice set. You mean this one? The same dice set, or did you mean a game dice set? Talking of game dice sets, this was the one that I made my son at Christmas. So these are gaming machines. So this was wonderful. I loved making this one, and my son was so thrilled with it. Collection yesterday for Mary Curie in Tamworth. Daffodil Appeal. Find out next week how much you raised. You know. Whoops. Hang on. Most daffodils were sold out of the. Oh, so you're selling daffodils. Excellent. That's right. So look, that was the gaming box there. But I'll show you some more of the things. But if you meant this one, Heather. Oh, the gaming machines. All right, this. If ever you need, if ever you need one, I could always cut the bits for you and send them to you if you had somebody special you wanted to make that for. It is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But today, I think it's today or yesterday, I posted up. So because they were so thrilled in the kitchen shop, Jess took some pictures. Well, somebody was going to take the picture. One of the guys was going to take the picture, and then Jess is actually, she's actually a photographer. Oh no, she's done photography, so she took them because, of course, she was better at it. There's a good way to take pictures, and there's a bad way. You can make people look fat, or all sorts of different things. But if you take them at a better angle, it's always good. Yes, I mean, I bought this the minute I saw this one because I knew, because my sons have been gamers, I thought I knew. I had it a long time before I ever made anything with it, but I just knew that was right for them at Christmas, so it was great. Plastic badges, not real daffodils. All right, yes, okay. So I know, see Louise watching in. Hi, Louise. Yes, I mean, there's so many of these things I want to do, but I've got to get myself sorted for going to my daughter's. I'm going to my daughter's on Tuesday. So tomorrow night I've got a trustees meeting because we're trying to get the community centre that's opposite my house. We're trying to get that back into use after several years. And it's been a bit of shenanigans, that one has too. And even the meetings have been shenanigans. But there is one meeting tomorrow night, and I have to just walk across the road, a few steps across the road. That I have to go for that. And then on Tuesday, I'm on my travels. Who thinks there might be travel shenanigans? What do you reckon? It's taking me a different route this time, and I'm not going on the hover this time. Normally I go down to the hover, I go on the hover, and then I get off the hover and get on the hover bus, which takes me round to the station, and then I have to walk from the hover bus to the station, and if it's raining I get wet. If I go from the end of the pier, I can get the taxi down to the end of the pier. As long as I've got a ticket, because there's no ticket machine there. This time I've got my tickets digitally, because, of course, before I suddenly realised I couldn't go to the end of the pier because I had to collect the tickets from the ticket machine on the dry end of the pier. And then I had all that shenanigans of not being able to go to the toilet and getting down on, all that, getting to... We won't go there with that one. I didn't lose the radar key. The door was locked. And I couldn't use the radar key. Anyway. So I've got my digital tickets. I've got it in my phone, but I've also taken a photograph of it in case the email suddenly deletes and the ticket disappears. So I've got it on there. And so I will get a taxi to the end of the pier. So once I'm on the Fast Cat, So, you know, so literally the taxi would drop me there. So if it was raining, I would hardly get wet. And then when you get to the other side, you get off the Fast Cat and you walk up the slope and there's the station. So why have I been going on the hover all this time and getting off the hover and on the bus and off the bus and on, you know, across to the station when it's so much easier going the other way? So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm sorry if you're, I don't know if you're still watching, Kath, but I'm sorry. I will not be live streaming the hover because I won't be on the hover. And when I'm on the Fast Cat, I usually sit in one of the seats in the middle because that's where I can put Navy Nora. But if I can get near a window, I might do a bit of stream. But it's a 20-minute crossing, whereas the hover's only 10. And sometimes I like to, you know, watch the adverts or do other things while I'm sitting on there. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? But I'm changing at a different station. I'm changing at Trowbridge, which I'm not much. I have changed there once before, but I can't remember the station. But I have booked my passenger assist. So that's okay. Hopefully that will all work out. Because, of course, the last journey I did when I was going to... Was I coming home or was I going or coming back? I can't remember. Yes, when I was coming back after my holiday and after staying with my son, I was coming back and we got on a train and there was so many of us. It was a bit of a palaver getting round, wasn't it? That was a bit difficult, but we managed it. We all squeezed in and it worked out okay. So I can feel that my throat is probably had enough of chatting now, because because it, you know, it is rather a long time. 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, nearly 2 hours, hasn't it? Right. But it's still starting at 7:30. It still gives me a bit of time, obviously, wind down time without being too late. So I like the 7:30 slot, and obviously most of you do because you came along and joined me. Thank you very much. Have I got anything else to say? I don't think so. I think I've told you what I wanted to tell. I think I've rabbited on for long enough. Rabbit. Still no magic coming out of my... Maybe it needs to warm up a bit. The magic genie. Will I get the magic genie? I'm hoping so. Anyway. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. And I hope that you have a lovely week. And if I do... Oh, I'm going to meet my daughters, aren't I? I was going to say, if I craft... I might be crafting at her place, but I might not be. I might be crafting while I'm chatting to her. So let me think. I'm still going to be at hers next Sunday. I might stream next Sunday. I'm not saying I won't. I'll see what's going on. If not, it will be a fortnight's time. But I'll see if I can do it tomorrow. I'll ask her if if she wants to be chatting. I mean, sometimes she'll still be in her garden at that time of night. So we'll see. I'll let you know. I'll put it up on my page if I'm going to live stream, and I'll also say if I'm not going to live stream. Okay, so now everybody, thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful week or fortnight if I don't see you next week, and stay safe. Bye.